Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up, Mr. Hoff. Can you hear me okay? Awesome. Hello, Mr. Ortiz, Mr. Cotty, Mr. Levi, Mr. Payne. Hello, Miss Tammy, Mr. Hendrick. Hello, Miss Donna. All right, we got them coming out. We got Mr. and Mrs. Palmer. Awesome. Hello. All right, guys, we got people pouring in. Such an important topic we are covering today. If you have the ability to take notes, highly recommend doing so. One of the worst feelings ever is to log in and find out that you've been hacked. So we are going to give you some preemptive measures that you can do to help limit the possibility of you getting hacked. Hello, Mr. Cotty. Hopefully the biceps feeling good, sir. Mr. Green. I love it. If you have the ability to turn on your camera, we'd love to see your beautiful faces. If you don't have that ability, no worries. Always love these sessions to be interactive. So if you have questions, feel free to drop it in the chat. I might be asking you to participate in the chat as well, which just provides me with a feedback loop so I know how you guys are doing. Hello, Miss Jilly, Mr. Lawrence. Hello, sir. So I got some training in yesterday. That looked like a lot of fun. Mr. Rosenthal, Miss Palos. All right, very cool. Mr. Hamilton. Awesome. Okay, guys, you know me, I don't like to waste time. We got a lot to go over today, and I actually have some help. So our operations manager, who also happens to be my bonus son, Darian, is on. We do these awards at the end of the year for everybody on our team. They're just little trophies that we do. And last year, he got the Facebook Support Chat Whisperer. I think Darian has had more conversations with Facebook support than anybody on this planet. So he's going to help and jump in when we get to the, oh crap, my account got disabled. What do I do next? Now, you know, I kind of just want to pre-frame this. We might not have all the answers, but if there is a question that you have and we're not 100% sure of, we're going to be honest about that. And we'll be able to reach out to our Facebook chat representative or our Meta representative. Now I get so, I don't know, I see emails from Meta and I'm like, what's Meta? Oh yeah, it's Facebook. And we will be able to find the answer for you. So we have a keynote. We will send out the recording later on today along with the keynote. Now, as I go through these steps that I'm going to tell you to implement, my recommendation is to not try to set this up on this webinar. Anytime you're dealing with anything that has to do with security and login with your Facebook account, that needs to have 100% of your attention. And a lot of these things, when you go to set it up, it's going to ask you for your password. I bet half of you probably don't even know what your password is because you've had it saved into your computer or on your phone. So what I would hate for you to do is to try to make edits while you're on the webinar. And then because you can't give it 100% of your attention, you then get locked out. All right. So we're going to send you the replay. We're going to send you the keynote. I have screenshots of every single thing you need to do with big red pointing arrows with everywhere you need to click. So you will get that today before the end of business. And that would just be my recommendation for you guys today. All right. If you are ready to get started, do me a favor, drop a 1 in the chat box. Oh, I like it. Already see them coming in. The ladies are super fast. Very cool. All right. Let me share my screen and let's get to it. All right, protecting your digital presence. Thumbs up if you guys can see my screen. Are we good? All right, awesome. So for those of you, I see a lot of familiar faces. I also see some new faces and some new names. For those of you that might not know me, because this is a webinar, this is open to everybody in the industry. My name's Cris Rodriguez. I own Gracie Pack martial arts. We are a jiu-jitsu and MMA academy. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So I'm a school owner just like you, but this school owner happened to fall in love with digital marketing. It's how I was able to grow my school. In under 3 years, we hit $500,000. So we were doing $500,000 in revenue in under 3 years. And it was predominantly due to digital marketing. I am the founder of Grow Pro. We're currently running ads for about 300 clients, and we spend a lot of money on Facebook ads every month, about $150,000 on Facebook ads specific to the martial arts industry. And because we have, a high client number and we're spending a lot of money, we do see a lot of issues with ad accounts getting disabled and pages getting disabled. And honestly, it typically happens with new people that are coming in that have already had issues, and they're reaching out to us to help them out. We handle Facebook support issues daily. And that's why I have Darian on the call with me today, because he's BFFs with Facebook support. Okay. So we're going to go over 4 things today. We're going to, 1, talk about the lay of the land and kind of what's happening and why it's happening. Second thing we're going to do is I'm going to give you 7 steps that you can implement to protect your accounts. Then we're going to go into, oh crap, my personal account got disabled. What do I do next? My ad account got disabled. What do I do next? My Facebook business page, which is probably the worst one, got disabled. What do I do next? And then we're going to kind of shift gears and talk about how to deal with bad reviews. My heart skips a little bit of a beat when I see the email from Google where you got a new review, because you never know. Is it going to be a 5-star? Is it going to be a 1-star? Is it going to be a spam review? So I'm going to talk you through exactly what to do if you do get spam reviews, or hey, maybe it's a legit review that we need to look at and see how we can improve those systems and processes in our academy. Okay, so talking about accounts getting hacked, we'll dive into your personal account, your business ad account, and your business pages. Now, if you have not seen the news, and the only reason why I know, because I don't even have TV, is because somebody in the office told me about this. But there is an article, and it's, of course, doesn't want to pull up for me right now, but about 2 weeks ago, over 1 million Facebook ad accounts got hacked. 1 million. I could just do a quick Google search. 1 million Facebook accounts get hacked, and there are tons of articles in here about it. And what was kind of crazy was that these accounts were getting hacked from apps that people had downloaded on their iPhone. So, typically when you think you're getting hacked, you're thinking, man, somebody got my password and they're logging into Facebook. Well, a lot of these apps connect to Facebook. If you ever played Farmville, right? If you ever played Candy Crush and you want to share how well you're doing in the game, it's got to connect to your Facebook. And there were like over 400 apps that they found were kind of leaving this back door open for people's Facebook accounts to get hacked. Over the last 6 months, there have been 2 marketing agencies specific to our industry, right? So in the marketing world, you have what's called legacy agencies. And these legacy agencies are agencies that will run ads for any industry, right? They'll run ads for doctors and lawyers and chiropractors and restaurants and gyms. And then you have niche focused agencies, which is what we are, where we only work with one type of industry. And within the last 6 months, there have been 2 very well-known marketing industries that got hacked themselves. The hackers got into the business manager. That business manager is connected to all of the clients. And you're talking some clients seeing, bills $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 rang up in a couple of days. And depending on your credit card company, it might be months before you're able to get that back. Okay. So one of the things we're going to talk about that, if you've used other marketing agencies, it's imperative that you remove their access, because what happened was we had some GrowPro clients that had used these other marketing agencies in the past. They never removed them, and we can't see the access, only the owner can see the access. They never removed their the old marketing agency out of their business manager. And because the old marketing agency's business manager got hacked, they were able to get into our clients' accounts. So if you've worked with other marketing agencies in the past and you have not removed their access to your business manager and your ad account, highly recommend you do that, because if they get hacked, they have access to your account, which is access to your credit card. Kind of crazy that, you know, people can do that. So let's go into some steps of protecting your accounts. Okay, the first one is called Facebook Protect. Okay, now, when you go to look for this, not while we're on the webinar, at the end, there may or may not be a chance that you have this Facebook Protect. So they created Facebook Protect for individuals on Facebook that have access to a lot of different Facebook assets. So what do I mean by Facebook assets? I mean Facebook business pages, I mean Facebook groups, I mean Facebook ad accounts. So maybe, you know, your school, you know, you run an after school program, summer camp program, martial arts program, and you have all of these different business pages that you're an admin on. And maybe you have even different ad accounts. Maybe you have multiple locations. So you're an admin and you have access to a lot of these different assets. If that is you, so mainly like my multi-school owners or owners that have lots of different programs with lots of different pages, groups, and ad accounts, then you potentially will have this Facebook Protect. And what they say is that they know certain people in the public eye can become a target for account compromise attempts on social media platforms, including Facebook. So if they deem that you have an increased risk, they want you to have additional protection. And that's why they created this Facebook Protect. So you may have it, you may not. If you don't have it, don't freak out. There are other things that you can do. But if you do have it, that means you really need to make sure to turn it on. So like I said, you guys are going to get access to this keynote. Let me drop this down here. But all of your settings and privacy you can get by clicking on your profile. I would recommend doing all of this except one step. One step, you are going to have to do it on a mobile device. But everything else you're going to want to do on your desktop. You're going to click your face. You're going to get a little drop down that says settings and privacy. Okay. You're going to then click on the settings inside of settings and privacy. And that's going to bring you to security and login. Okay. And this is where we're going to be doing a lot of the preemptive protection work for your accounts. If you have Facebook Protect, you're going to see it up at the top. And if you have it on, it'll be in blue. It'll say on. If you don't have it on, then you're going to want to go ahead and turn it on. Pretty much anytime you are making edits to the security of your account, you're going to have to be able to prove that you are who you are. And that's typically through your password. All right. So one of the biggest struggles that we have when we bring on new clients to GrowPro is when we're onboarding them, in order for us to be able to run ads out of their ad account, we've got to get admin access. And this requires the school owner to know their password. And believe it or not, about 50% of school owners, and I think just people in general, don't know their password. I saw a jiu-jitsu school owner, he's like the on the mat and the wife is the off the mat. She's the program director. She could not for the life of her remember what her password is. So she ended up actually creating a new account because she just could not remember what it is. So anytime you're doing any edits in here, they're going to ask you for that password. So you got to make sure you have it handy. So step number one is you need to turn Facebook Protect on if you have that as a setting. All right. So write that down if you're taking notes. It's the first step that you need to do. The second step you need to do is have two-factor authentication turned on. Now, I know that it's a pain in the butt that anytime you are using a device that Facebook does not recognize, or if you're on a different IP address that Facebook does not recognize, they are going to make you go through this two-factor authentication, which just means you need to confirm your identity. So to give you an example, I was traveling to Dallas and to San Diego last week. I had my regular laptop, my everyday laptop that I'm always on, but because I was logged into a different Wi-Fi network, it made me prove through two-factor authentication that I was who I was. So it's not just when you use a new device, but if you're on different Wi-Fi, it can prompt you to do this as well. Same exact thing. You're going to go to the security and log in, and you're going to want to turn this on. If you don't have it turned on, it'll probably have a recommendation to turn it on. Now, there are 3 ways that you can confirm your identity. And out of the 3, I'm only going to recommend one to you. So you can tap your security key on a compatible device. You can get login codes from a third-party app, or you can get a text message sent to your cell phone. So what are those things? The security key is actually, it looks like a little USB. So it's a physical USB that you purchase, just a small hardware device that can help you keep your Facebook account secure. The reason why my recommendation is just getting the text message is because it doesn't require you to have to do this. But for agencies that are working with lots of clients, or maybe they're hiring VAs in other third world countries, this is an extra level of protection because you have to have this physical hardware device in order to log into your Facebook account. Okay. The second thing that you can do is use a third-party authentication app to get your login code. I've never used this before, but it is a way that you can. And again, you guys are going to get the keynote, so you'll get access if you wanted to use the third-party authentication app. But the easiest thing is just to get a text message to your cell phone. So this is what I do anytime I'm logging in on a different device. You know, a lot of my team has access to my personal Facebook account because they post for me, they're answering messages for me. Every time they log in, they need to get this code from me, which gets texted to my phone. But here's the issue. If you made your Facebook account 5 years ago and you had a different phone number, this happened to one of our clients, they were unable to get the text message because they no longer had that cell phone number. So what you're going to need to do, and you have to do this on the mobile device. This is the one thing that you do have to do on your mobile device. That's why you're going to see these screenshots are smaller. They're not horizontal, they're vertical, because these are screenshots from my cell phone. So you're going to go to your little picture, which is all the way to the right, your little menu, and you have personal information. It's then going to take you to this screen where you're going to click on contact info. And then at the bottom, you have this text message setting. And this is where you're going to be able to set up the phone number that you want them to text anytime that they are recognizing somebody is logged in on a different device. All right. So if you don't have the correct cell phone number on here, or maybe you have a landline, there's no way for you to get that text message. So I would do this first and then go set up the two-factor authentication. And you want to have all your contact information accurate anyways. Okay. So this is going to be something you have to do on your mobile device. Okay. Now, about probably earlier this year, and the only reason why I know about this is because when we onboard new team members at GrowPro, we want them to create a Facebook account, and we need to connect them to some of our ad accounts if they're ad account managers, which means they have to know their password. And believe it or not, a lot of them don't know their password. Darian recently took over the onboarding for our new hires, and it's just crazy. The people, like most people, don't know what their passwords are. They used to have this thing where you could choose 3 people, 3 of your friends on your friends list. Facebook would text them a code, and they would have to give you the code for you to be able to log in. They no longer have this. Okay. They called it trusted contacts. And again, it's something that you could get to earlier this year, but they completely got rid of it. So if maybe you had that set up in the past, it's no longer set up. Ms. Jilly says, can you use more than one number? I do have 2 cell phone numbers connected to mine. So yes, you can. All right. So no longer can you do the trusted contacts, and please make sure that your cell phone number is accurate when you're on your mobile device. Okay. Now, next up, and this is important. Okay. I want you to go in and check where you are logged in and remove anything that is no longer relevant. So when you're inside of security and logins, you can actually see where you have been logged in. And all of these devices should be your devices. But maybe you were traveling, and visited a friend's house and logged onto their Facebook on their computer in a different state. If you never logged out, that would show up here. And in order to remove it, it's really simple. You just click on these 3 little dots and you can remove. Now, I have a lot of places that I'm logged in because, like I said, my marketing team has access to my Facebook account. So more than likely, you're not going to see as many as I have. But you definitely want to double check and make sure that everywhere that you've logged in the past is, a legit place. If you see something like Pakistan or the Philippines, that's pretty concerning. Okay, so you're going to want to double check and make sure where you're logged in and log out of any place that isn't relevant. Okay, next thing, and this is preemptive. So, Darian, when somebody has, some form of an issue, one of the first things that Facebook asks them to send to them is what?
I do a mute. It's going to be a license.
It's going to be your driver's license. Okay. So they're going to want you. This is one of the first things they ask you to do. If your personal account gets hacked, even your ad account's getting hacked, they want you to be able to prove your identity. So they're going to ask you to send your driver's license in. And if you've ever worked with Facebook support, if there was an award for worst customer service in the world, they would receive it. They don't care. They don't care how much money you're spending on their platforms, which is crazy because the longer my account is disabled, that means I can't give them money. You think that they would want to expedite the process, but they will tell us, oh, it'll be 48 to 72 hours. You reach back out, hey, I sent my license, and they're like, oh, it's going to be another week. They have no regard for their users, which are us. So if you do have an issue where you are required to confirm your identity, it's going to speed up the process if you just go ahead and send them the driver's license now. And this way, your identity is confirmed. Okay. So you can do this by going to the general. So you're going to click your little face over here. You're going to go to general and you're going to see this identity confirmation. And when you click on that, it'll bring you to another page where you can upload your driver's license. Okay, so this is just a preemptive way of dealing with any potential future issues that they already have your driver's license on hand. Okay, if you're concerned, like, I don't want to give Facebook my license, well, they might not even allow you to run ads if you can't confirm your identity because your credit card needs to be connected to an actual human being to prove that you're not stealing somebody else's credit card. Okay. So I know certain people are, worried about privacy this and privacy that, but they can literally stop your ability of running ads if you do not confirm your identity. So I would highly recommend being preemptive about this and getting your identity confirmation in place. All right. Next thing to do is set up login alerts. So inside of security and logins, you have to turn this on. It's not automatically turned on. But what if you want to know if an unrecognized device is trying to log into your Facebook account? And wouldn't you want to know where that's from? Right. So if Cruz maybe got a hold of, my iPad at home and is trying to log in, something like that, I wouldn't get an alert for it because it's a recognized device that's on my list. But if you have this turned on, you can get a text message anytime somebody is trying to log into your account that's not on a recognized device or not on a Wi-Fi that you normally use. So 100%, you might as well, right? They're calling it extra security. Let's lock this down as much as we can. Okay, now this is really cool that not a lot of people know about this. We get screenshots from clients all the time of emails that they get, and they're not sure if it's a fake email or not, right? They're like, man, this looks like it's from Facebook, but they're telling me my account is disabled and I'm supposed to click on this link. Well, you can actually see in your account whether or not Facebook has sent you any emails. So there's no more kind of having to worry or wonder, is this a legit email from Facebook? So inside of the security and logins, down at the bottom under advanced, it'll say see recent emails from Facebook. And it's all emails. So emails that have to do with security. As you can see, it says we haven't sent you any emails about security in the past 2 weeks. So if I got an email a couple of days ago and I wasn't sure if it was from Facebook or not, I could go in here and check and see if it's a legit email. Now, typically you can tell by the email address that it's being sent from. For whatever reason, hackers aren't super smart and they use these like random email addresses, but they pull in Facebook headers and they put Facebook footers on the bottom. Under other emails, you would see basically like invoices. So if you're running ads, you would see like because they send you an email anytime your budget hits whatever the cap is. So you get those emails. That's what you would see under other. All right. But no more kind of guesswork in regards to is that from Facebook or not? So 100%, let's get this. Let's take a peek at that. All right. And then last up, and I think we all know this, but how many people actually do this? And this is a really big pain in the butt for us at the agency, because these passwords, when we change them, it basically breaks all of our integrations that we have with Facebook and CRMs. So it's a pain in the butt, but it's something that you absolutely should do. Your Facebook password should be the only platform you're using this password. We all have a generic password that we use for everything. I would not use that password for Facebook, okay? The recommendation for changing your password is every 6 months. And one of the things that we decided to do, there are these software companies out there. LastPass is one of them, and Team Password is another one. Now, these are paid platforms. They're not free. But if you have a large team that has access to a lot of different, softwares that maybe credit cards are held on, these platforms basically allow people to log in without knowing what the actual password is. So if, again, you have large teams, maybe you have multiple locations, this might be a good way to go about not giving out your personal passwords to certain websites, because you can hide it inside of Team Password or LastPass and they can still log in. And what's so great is, because they don't know the password, let's say you fire somebody, let's say, there's an incident that happens where, a staff member leaves and it's not on good terms, they know all your passwords. Well, you can just change this one password in LastPass or Team Password, and then they're completely locked out. So, ideally, I think this is for larger schools, multiple locations where you have lots of different people having access to passwords. But it's just a cool tool. All right. So those are the steps that I want you to take. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 steps, guys. We're going to turn that Facebook Protect on. We're going to set up the 2-factor authentication. We're going to double check and make sure that our cell phone number is accurate so that when Facebook texts us, we actually get them. We're going to check where we're currently logged in and log out of any place that we shouldn't be. We're going to confirm our identity and contact details. We're going to set up the login alerts so you get emails and text messages anytime somebody tries to log in that's not on a confirmed device. And then double check to see if the emails are actually coming from Facebook. And just a good reminder that we want to change those passwords every 6 months and make sure that it's the only platform you're using this password on. Okay. Hopefully you had at least one takeaway in there where you can set up this additional line of security that isn't going to guarantee that you're not going to get hacked, but it is going to make it a lot more difficult. All right. Did you say how often we should be checking where we're logged in at so we could log out if needed? You know, I think it just depends on the kind of amount of access that people have to your face. Like I said, I got 22 people in the office that have the ability to log into my Facebook. Unfortunately, we use that team password so I can easily remove or revoke their access. But I would just take a peek like once a month, and I would definitely do it more often if you travel often and you're logging into other devices that wouldn't be your own. Okay. So let's kind of take it. That's all the preemptive stuff that we can do. Now let's go to the next step. Crap, I got hacked. What do I do? Okay. And if you're getting value out of this, do me a favor, drop a 2 in the channel. If you're getting some value out of this, drop a 2. Thank you, Miss Jilly. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Mr. Holly. Awesome. Ooh, I see lots of 2s. I love it. Okay. So I got hacked. What now, right? What do I do now? I just got hacked. Not a fun feeling. What are you going to do? So for the personal account, Facebook actually, I got to give it to them. They've leveled up this process just slightly. And they actually do have a URL that you can go to. And I'm going to drop it in this chat here. And I would, copy and paste that, maybe put it in a Word document or a notepad somewhere. But if your personal account gets hacked, you can actually submit a support ticket or request to get your personal account back by going to that URL. And it's going to ask you some questions. First, can you tell us what's happening? Maybe there was a post or a message or an event that you saw that you didn't create, right? You see this post that's got your name on it. It's like, I didn't post that. Maybe someone got into the account without your permission. I found an account which uses my name or photos. So you see this a lot, especially with people that are celebrities and are more famous, where they're creating these fake accounts because what they're doing is, let's say, I was so popular and so famous that somebody wanted to pretend to be me, which actually did happen once on Instagram. I was like, man, I made it. Somebody's pretending to be me. But the reason why they do this, let's say, Cris Rodriguez, C-R-I-S, they would spell it C-H-R-I-S, right? Just kind of changing one letter or turning an O into a 0. So most people really wouldn't pick up on it. And what they do is they DM them and try to start a conversation and ask them for money. All right. So they're trying to use somebody's fame and celebrity to get money out of other people. And people are thinking like, holy crap, like this person's actually reaching out to me. They're trying to sell me something. And then, they click the link, they give them their credit card and they figure out it wasn't actually the person. Okay. So they just give you some of these options here that you can click if you do think that you got hacked, and it's going to take you through a couple of steps. What I will tell you is don't expect Facebook to, immediately jump right on it. You are at the mercy of them, right? And I've literally begged and pleaded in the past. What I will tell you is kindness goes a really long way. Darren, you kind of want to, you have a lot of conversations with these reps, kind of want to talk about what those conversations, how they typically go.
Yeah, so when you're on the conversation with the Facebook support rep, it's very straightforward. They're just going to ask you for any account numbers that you may have. They're asking for your email associated with your account. And really just the beginning is just them saying hi with a greeting and just getting all the information you need. After that, they ask you to kind of explain what the issue is. I found that if you can be more, you don't have to give exact bullet points, but being more succinct tends to lead to a faster conversation and a faster turnaround for them. And really just, as frustrated as you are, don't take the frustration out on them, because as much as you may want to have someone to direct it to, they're the only people who can help you in that moment. And what they can do at times is just redirect you to an article instead of forwarding it to their team. And I've noticed if anyone's ever short with them, they kind of lean more towards just, here, read this article instead of me helping you. So make sure you're being kind.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why we actually decided to have one point person deal with all of the Facebook support issues, because Maybe one of our ad account managers is trying to launch these ads for their clients, and their clients are like, man, I really need those ads up. I really need those ads up. And then something happens. They're not necessarily in the right mindset, right? We've all called a company where we're not happy, maybe raised our voice a little bit, maybe talked a little short to them. These are people on the other end, and asking them, how is your day going? Like that, those little things really go a long way. Putting little smiley faces, as silly as that sounds, they are going to be more willing to help you. And if you're short and you're, talking to them in all capital letters, which a lot of people do, they're going to say, here's the article, good luck. All right. So kindness goes a long way with dealing with Facebook support, even though you might be frustrated. Highly recommend to do that. Okay. So that's going to be, if you get your personal account hacked, that's the link that you're going to want to use. So keep that somewhere. And if you do all of these preemptive steps, the 7 things that I said, it's going to be a lot harder for you to get hacked. Okay. So let's because we've got all business owners on here, let's talk about if your ad account gets hacked. And before we do that, I do just want to, because I think sometimes the lingo, because we're in the digital marketing world, we can, just take it for granted, and we assume that everybody knows, what the lingo is. So let me just pull up and make sure that everybody knows the difference. So your ad account is the account that your ads are ran out of. And ad accounts are attached to Facebook pages. So you need both in order to run an ad. You need your Facebook business page, which would be your school page, and you need a business ad account. Now, everybody that has just a regular Facebook account, right? So I'm on Facebook, I'm a Facebook user, right? Let me just pull up my profile here, right? All of us have our own personal account. Anytime you have a personal Facebook account, you also have a personal ad account. And one of the biggest mistakes that many business owners make is they try to run their ads for their company out of their personal ad account, because it's the only one that they see when they go to the ads manager. Well, your personal ad account has limitations on the different audiences that you can make. So one of the coolest audiences that you can make inside of Facebook is an email list audience. So let's say over the years in your CRM, you've been getting a ton of leads, and maybe you got like 5,000 contacts on your email list, right? So you have the name, the email, and phone number. Well, if you have a personal account, you cannot use that list to create an audience of people that you can advertise to. If you have a business ad account, you can. So you can take that list, you can upload it to Facebook, and you can say, Facebook, everybody that's on this list, if they have a Facebook account, I want you to show them an ad. And that's where this thought of retargeting people, where, man, they've learned about us, they've given us contact information, but they never pulled the trigger. Let me go ahead and show them an ad for my, 4 weeks for $49 special. Okay. So your ad account is what is actually you're running the ads through. You don't want that ran through the personal. You got to create a business one, and you can do that in the business manager. But the ad account can very frequently get shut down. Okay. And unfortunately, it's bots. It's not a human being that's looking through your campaigns and saying, you know what? That ad, it looks like you're discriminating against people. We're going to shut it off. It's a bot. It's literally a bot. And what's so crazy is our Facebook representative basically said, look, if you launch an ad and it gets the ad account disabled, you can request a review. What they told us to do is you should wait at least 15 to 20 minutes to request the review. Because if your ad account gets disabled and you immediately request the review, that same bot that shut you down is still on your account. But 20 minutes later, it would be a different bot that is going to assess the account. So sometimes just having a little bit of patience and waiting for a review, as opposed to the second you're seeing an ad get rejected or a disabled account getting shut down, wait a little bit for a new set of bots. And I know it's ridiculous, but that's how they've been able to scale this company, is through utilizing tech as opposed to having a human being sit there and go through all of your accounts, okay, and all of your campaigns. So Darren, if you can kind of walk everybody through, let's say, right, so we have the Facebook business page, you have your ad manager where your ad account is at. Sometimes ad accounts get shut down. Darian, why, typically do ad accounts get shut down? And then what can we do about it?
Yeah, I do want to touch on one more thing real quick about the personal accounts and why you should use a business account instead of your personal one to run ads. If you think about how they're connected as well, if your personal ad account gets disabled, then that has a chance of making it so that you can't post on Facebook as well. So having a business ad account separates those two aspects. And if you say something Facebook doesn't like on your personal profile, and now your account's shut down, you're locked out, you can't turn off your ads, that's really going to mess with you.
Okay, so just another reason to have a business ad account, right? Do not be running it out of your personal. Okay, so why would an ad account get disabled? And then if that happens, what do we do?
Yeah, so if you have too many rejections on ads, if you keep running ads and they keep flagging them over and over, like we said, not waiting those 20 minutes, maybe not having that enough patience and keep pressing that publish button over and over, racking up rejections will cause it to get disabled for quote unquote circumventing policies. Another reason that it could happen is a billing issue. Maybe the card isn't being able to be pinged. You don't need to go to support for that one though. You can just update your card. Those are really the two main ones: is rejected ads, circumventing policies, and then billing issues. They'll also disable it if they think there's any kind of suspicious activity. But everything except for billing will be these next steps. And if you guys notice in the bottom left-hand corner, there's that question mark with a circle around it. That's the help icon. If you click that, it'll open up the window on the right-hand side that has Chris's name. And essentially what you're doing where it says, where is the issue occurring, is you're selecting the asset in which you're trying to fix. So in this case, you selected her ad account. If it was your Facebook page, you would select your page, but more on that later. Second step, what issue are you experiencing? You'll just look through the list. Generally, you're going to click the first one, my account is disabled. If it's anything other than that, I would recommend scrolling to the very bottom and just selecting other issue, because if you select anything other than other issue or account disabled, they're just going to recommend articles to you. This is them trying to redirect some kind of article here. You want to make sure you click contact support in this next step, because it'll give you this next window if you want to skip to the next slide.
I think that's the furthest one that we have. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically you're choosing the ad account or the Facebook page, which we're going to get to next. You're saying, what is the issue? They're immediately going to give you a help article. Like, here, use this article. And all you're going to want to do is talk to somebody. In order to talk to somebody, you've got to click the contact support. And that's when the conversation that you're going to ask them how their day was, and you're not going to talk in all caps, and you're going to put little smiley faces in. That's where that conversation is going to start. Okay. Now, the ad account isn't as big of a deal if it gets completely disabled and rejected, because you can just make a new one. Okay. So, about 3 weeks ago, we were sitting in our level 10 meeting, which is a meeting that everybody on the team gets together with. And we're in the middle of the meeting, and one of the ad account managers goes, I just got a few ad accounts disabled. And then another one said, yeah, I got some too. We look in, there were 20 ad accounts that were disabled. Facebook had pushed a new update. For whatever reason, those ad accounts got flagged. Some of them, many of them, we were able to do exactly the steps that Darian just walked you through, and we're able to get it back. Some of them, we were unable to get it back. And if that happens, the cool part is you can just make a new ad account. The not cool part is things like your Facebook pixel, which is a piece of code that goes on your website, which collects a bunch of data, which helps your ads to be optimized and produce better results. you now have a new Facebook pixel. So you would have to take the old one and put it on your website. All of the audiences that you create, and we do this for our clients, right? We create audiences of everybody that has interacted with their Facebook business page, their Instagram, that have watched all their videos. We upload their contact list in there. And then we create all of these lookalike audiences. We probably create 15 to 20 audiences for our clients. If you have a new ad account, you have to recreate all of those audiences as well. So it's, a pain in the butt, but it's not a huge deal. And we were able for those clients that the second week, and unfortunately we have to get on a Zoom with them because there's certain access that we have to get, but we were able to get their accounts turned back around in about 24 to 48 hours for them. All right. Now, if your Facebook business page gets disabled and permanently disabled, that really stinks. So I want everybody to put in the chat, how long has your business been around? How many years has your business been around? So I'm going to put 10. And 10 years ago, Facebook was a thing. So my Facebook business page for my school has been around for 10 years, right? 10 years, 40 years, 21, 3.5, 7. All right. I'm just trying to prove a point that for many of you, you've had your business page for long periods of time. Think of all of the reviews you've gotten. Think of all of the posts that you have in there, all of the pictures, all of the Facebook lives, all of the videos live on that Facebook business page, and all of your followers live on there as well. If your Facebook business page gets disabled, you can walk through these same steps. It's going to be exactly like you did before. So you're going to go to the ads manager. You're going to click on that little circle with the question mark. And where the issue is occurring, you're just going to type in your school name. Now, I have access to 300 plus business pages because we run ads. You're not going to see all of these different assets in there, right? You're probably just going to have a couple, but you would choose where it says page. So you can see how that says Gray CPAC ad account, and then it says Gray CPAC page. There's even groups. So if you're having issues with any of your groups, that's considered an asset as well. So you would just choose your page as opposed to the ad account, which we did in the previous example. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to say, what was the issue? Was your Facebook page hacked? Have you been blocked from using your page? And then the same thing, you can go ahead and request to speak to support. Okay, now this is so important, guys. So please pay attention. If you are the only admin on your Facebook business page, which oftentimes school owners, you're the only one, right? You're like, well, I trust my program director, but what happens if there's an issue? So you don't want to necessarily give them admin, right? You might give them editor permissions, but you need to be very cautious on who you give admin permissions to. But if you're the only admin on the account and your personal account gets hacked, you will not be able to make any changes to your Facebook business page. It's basically a wash. It's a loss. Won't be able to post as the page because your account is hacked. So it's imperative that you pick somebody that you trust. I would pretty much say a spouse or, maybe an older child that you have, but you need to have somebody besides just you that you trust 100% to be an admin on your Facebook business page. We see so many issues with this, with so many different clients, because they're the only one, their personal account gets hacked and they cannot access their Facebook business page anymore. Okay, so you can do that in the settings of your Facebook business page and add in somebody that you highly trust. But guys, if I know there's hopefully a lot of takeaways you're taking today. This needs to be one of the ones that you do immediately. Okay. All right. So last up, there are other ways to get to Facebook support and contact Facebook. And you can go to facebook.com/business/help. They have tons of articles in there. And if you scroll towards the bottom, you can contact support. Okay. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you kind of very similar to what was happening over here. It's going to ask you to select the assets. It's going to say select the issue, and then you'll be able to start the conversation. All right. So there are multiple ways to get to support, and this is just facebook.com/business/help. It's another URL that I would definitely have on hand. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to say, if your Facebook business page does get shut down, okay, and you can no longer access it, you're going to start a new page, right? Which, I mean, I guess that's the good news. You can always start a new page, but you're starting all over again. You're starting with 0 followers. One of the biggest mistakes that business owners make is once they create that new page, they immediately want to start running ads. And this flags Facebook because what they're not seeing is content being posted on the Facebook business page. So when we have clients that want us to run ads, I mean, believe it or not, we do have people that sign up with us that don't even have Facebook business pages, or they're opening up a new location and they're creating a new Facebook business page. Master Josh Arsamont, he's one of our Maya consultants. He's opening up his second location. I had a call with him about a month ago, and I was like, one of the first things you need to do is create that Facebook page and start putting content on it so that when you're ready for us to launch ads, it's not going to flag the page or the ad account. So if you do have to start over and recreate a Facebook page, you need at least a week of posting content every day. And that will help to make sure that the account doesn't get flagged. Okay, so very important that that occurs. So we're going to kind of shift gears here. And, you know, this has been all about protecting yourself with Facebook and what to do if accounts get disabled and stuff like that. But a big part of our digital presence and can affect how people view us and our school are bad reviews. So I want to actually show you how you can report reviews. It's actually pretty easy. And then what to do if there actually is a legit bad review. So kind of the first thing is it a legit review? You know, I'm not proud to admit, but we've had a couple of reviews that were legit reviews from families that were paying that weren't happy with some of our services. And I'm going to share one of them with you, okay? You need to take the emotion out of it. What I can't stand is when I see school owners draw up this like 5-page essay telling the customer that they're wrong. Look, this is something we say often in our companies. The customer isn't always right, but the customer is still the customer. And we're sitting here preaching that martial arts teaches respect and discipline. You better show some respect and discipline in your Google reply. Take the emotion out of it. What I typically do if I'm fired up, I'll go ahead and type out an email. I'll read through it, and then I hit delete. And then I'll go ahead, take the emotion out and go to the next step. Okay, guys, but you don't need to put some long essay because this is what's going to happen. People look at reviews, right? We have 20 some odd reviews, and we're at a 4.9 because we have a handful of lower stars. Some of them were spam. Some of them were legit, which I'm going to share with you right now. I have so much respect. If I see a bad review for a business, I have so much respect for that business. If they take the time to reply in a professional manner and at least give an opportunity to try to make it right. To me, that kind of wipes out the bad review. It's like, oh, okay, not all companies are perfect. A mistake was made. Are they owning up to it? Are they providing contact information to try to make it right? So take the emotion out of it. It doesn't need to be 5 pages long, and provide them with contact information, because anybody that looks at that is going to say, you know what, they're trying to make it right. Okay, so just a couple of things if it is a legit review, and we're going to talk about what to do if it's a spam review. Mr. Payne says lead with empathy, 100%. Okay. So see it from their side, respond professionally, leave your contact information. So we got this review a few months ago, and man, they kicked it off with a bang. I was like, look how nice they're talking about us. Why'd they only give us 3 stars? It says an excellent place to take your kids to start martial arts. Friendly people and coaches, but beware, They come with a plan for how they operate, and it's your money. So if you're looking to compete, I recommend somewhere else. This particular person got recommended or nominated to our next level program, our elite program. The elite program includes 2 additional training days, and it includes access to our competition team. Now, you're paying for the basic program, and this is how we view it from our end, right? You're getting 2 days a week. You're paying $155 a month. You're now going to get 4 days a week. You're going to be on our competition team. We all know how expensive is it for us to send out instructors to competitions. We're compensating them for their time. We're compensating them for their travel. We're compensating them for their food. I think we'd all agree there's a lot more expenses that occur when you start going to outside tournaments, right? So this is like how our mind works as the business owner. Wait a minute. You're getting 2 more additional classes. You're getting access to the competition team. Our coaches are going to be, traveling to these tournaments, coaching you. And there's a $25 a month difference. Well, this family did not like that they had to pay an additional $25 to access the 2 classes and to access, being able to be on the competition team. Now, for many of you, you're like, how come they had an issue with that, right? It's not something we hide. We have our programs up on the wall. It's got basic program, elite program, everything you get with it. It's a part of our sales process to bring up the upgrade program because we want to pre-frame them in the beginning. But when you think about how much information we give to new prospects, it's a lot of information. Right? You're going over your class schedule, how the classes work, all the different events that we do, how testing works. They don't retain all of it, right? And that was kind of something that we thought about was like, man, is there a better way that we can make sure? Because what people don't like is surprises. They clearly did not remember during our 4-step enrollment process where we talked about the competition team and we talked about how it's an additional cost because you're training more. They didn't remember that. And we're thinking like, man, what other ways could we do, right? We have a student handbook. We have a landing page that has the information on it. So my response, and I thanked them, for, their kind words. I also said, which we did, we tried to reach out via phone. It's interesting how people will leave bad reviews, but when you try to call them and reach out, they don't pick up, right? So we wanted whoever read this to know, look, we've tried to actively reach out. And, what our instructor, Coach Leo, he was so upset about this. And, there was this really cool video that Jotty Tension put out a couple of weeks. And it was about as adults and as kids and as parents, if your kid's going to quit something, at least have the decency to go to that coach and thank them for what they did and let them know face to face, not via a text, not via a phone call, that, hey, yeah, the last year and a half you poured into my kid, thanks for that, but we're leaving, right? It's the least you could do is to train your children that if they are going to quit something, if they are going to stop something, to go to that coach and let them know face to face. It was a phenomenal video. If you don't know who Jotty Tension is, I'd look him up on Facebook. He put some really great content out. He's a school owner and a famous world fighter as well, okay? So again, we let them know we tried to get, a hold of them. We explained, these are our programs. This is what we do. And we provided them with contact information to get back to us. All right. It wasn't nasty. It wasn't anything. It was just stating facts. All right. So what if you do get a spam review though? We've all, I'm sure, gotten that where, they have some funky Google name. It's not even their real name. It's some funky Google name. They don't even type anything in. They just give you 1 star. If that's happened to you, drop a 1 in the channel where you didn't know who this person was. And now all of a sudden you just have a 1-star review. All right. Only Mr. Holly. All right. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. I think it happens, pretty often. So if that does, what you can do is you're going to Google your own school name. So there used to be business.google.com. They got rid of it. They want you to do everything on your business profile, your Google business profile. They want you to do it on the search engine results page. So you're just going to type in your school. You have to be logged into the Gmail account that is connected to your Google business profile. And then you're just going to click on read reviews. And what you can do is once you pull up the reviews, so this Amelia Pino, no idea who that person is, wasn't in our database. You can click the three little buttons. You could put report review, and then you can put that it is spam. Now, there are other options like off topic, conflict of interest, there's profanity, there's bullying, maybe it was hate speech, it has personal contact information, and you can send a report. Google will get back to you in 3 days. Okay, so once you report the spam review, you've got basically 3 days before they will make a decision of whether or not they're going to remove it. I have done this a few times and it actually works. So like if you have spam reviews in there, go ahead and report the review. Okay. Now, what about Facebook recommendations? If you go to your settings in your Facebook recommendations, there's not much that you can do in terms of getting rid of the recommendation. However, I had a client reach out to me. It was a Maya client, and there was an issue with a family. And, sometimes people get ticked off, they get upset. And what do? They leave a bad review, and then they ask their sibling to leave a bad review. And then they ask their parents to leave a bad review. And one bad review can turn into 5 bad reviews from one situation. And it got so bad that this lady ended up adding 20 bad reviews, like second cousins, third cousins, probably creating Facebook accounts for her kids. And there's not much that you can do like you can do with Google, but you can turn off your reviews. Now, what's the downside to that? People aren't going to see all of the good reviews. So if you've ever wondered, if you're on a Facebook business page, like, how come there's no reviews there? It's because they've just removed that ability. And maybe that's and you can turn it on and off. So it's not like if you decide to get rid of it, you can never bring it back. But maybe you're in the middle of something. Maybe you're being slandered online and you just want to remove it until you can get a hold of the situation. You can do that by going to settings, and then you can go to templates and tabs, right? So on your Facebook business page, you've got settings, you've got templates and tabs, and then you've got the reviews over here. And you can actually just toggle it off, and then the reviews will no longer be on there. Okay. So, this doesn't really have to do with protecting your account, but I think it's something that many of us deal with, now you at least have a couple of different items and ways that you can, either shut them off or report them as reviews. Miss Tammy asked, can we respond? 100%. Yeah. So if you go to and you click your reviews right here, you'll be able to see them, and you would be able to respond to all of the recommended. So Facebook back in the day, you used to be able to get stars. It's no longer stars. It's either, yes, I recommend this place, or no, I don't recommend this place. And whatever they choose, you would have the ability to respond. Like I just pulled it up here, right? So as you can see, we can respond both to positive and not so positive. Okay. All right, guys. And that's pretty much our presentation. If you are interested in a free marketing audit, you can book your free marketing audit. If you're, questions on anything that we went over, you can scan that and book a call with us as well. We're just seeing a lot of issues just from school owners that we know, people that are using other agencies. It's just happening more and more. And I just wanted to be able to provide you with kind of some preemptive steps that you can put in place. It's not going to guarantee you're never going to get hacked, but it's going to make it a lot harder. And one of the questions that I would ask an agency, if you're considering hiring them, is where are your people located? Because what we've noticed is these agencies that are getting hacked are the ones that use VAs in Pakistan and the Philippines. And that's why that's not my business model. Like, we've got 22 people out there in the office right now. We're American based, baby. But I would ask, because you are prone to leaving your account more open to get hacked if people have admin access that are in other countries. All right. Okay, guys, that's our training. I hope you found some value out of this. Thank you so much for coming on. We're going to email the recording and the keynote. And you've got homework before you go to bed tonight. We're going to get this out immediately as soon as the video's rendering. You need to set up these preemptive steps. All right. Appreciate everybody. Make it a great day. And I'll see my Maya crew in a couple of days. Bye, guys. Have a good one.